How's it going, guys? Scaredy Cat Vasquez back at it with another episode of Haunt Talks. Those of you guys who are new to my channel, basically Haunt Talks is a podcast, video podcast that I do that talks about all things haunt, Halloween related, gothic stuff, anything creepy. And this episode is very special because I not had only one, but two guests from the play that I saw in North Hollywood at Zombie Joe's Underground Theater, Possession, American Serial Killer. I got to talk to the man himself, Chris Levine, played the notorious Ted Bundy, and Anza Seller, who plays one of his victims whose name escapes me. I'm so sorry, girl. But yeah, and it was a really interesting play, a really like touching play actually. Like, you know, like these two did such phenomenal acting that it really made me feel emotional at some points, you know what I mean? Like, there are certain sad parts of the play that really had me almost feeling sad. And, you know, they're just really talented. I'm so glad that they just got to, like, you know, come on down, be on the show. Thank you guys so much again for coming down here, all right? In the meantime, check it out. Once you're done and you want to see the play for yourself, it's on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description where to watch the full play. And you guys get to experience the great acting yourself from there, okay?
Alright guys, I'm here today with two very special guests. We got Chris Levine, the man who played Ted Bundy himself, and then we got his victim over here, Azana, how did you say your last name?
Anza.
Anza, oh, I'm so sorry, look at that.
I like lasagna. Kind of cute. It's kind of cute.
There we go.
That's her new stage
Anza
name.
Seller, okay, and she plays the victim in the play and everything like that of Possession, American Serial Killer. So let's just jump right into it, guys. How did you guys come across this play in the first place?
You mean you start first? I'll go.
Yeah, because I kind of brought you on. But,
Yeah.
but my brother had written it while he was at school at the New York Film Academy, and he wrote it a couple years ago. And I was in the midst of marketing my feature, my Anabolic Life movie.
Okay.
And he sent it to me, and I was like, wow, I've never seen I'm not into plays at all. I've never done theater. I'm not into theater, but this sounds like something, an actual cool theater thing that I would probably go see. And he goes, you know, I kind of wrote it for you. I was like, oh, it's very flattering, but you know, put it on the back burner. And then it just so happened, you know, this year it's been a little slow for me, and this came back around, and I was like, I wonder how much it would cost to actually produce a play, something I've never even thought of, but to try to dive into this thing, do a Halloween thing. We've always loved horror, and then during casting is when I came across lasagna.
Yeah,
No,
saw the notice, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. And honestly thought like, oh, it's not my usual thing, but then auditioned, and I'm like, wow, it's one of my best auditions yet. It feels good, so.
Yeah. She rocked it, man. You know, the only problem she had during the audition, she didn't bring a headshot and resume.
Oh God, I never heard the end of it.
And if it was up to Denise, she wouldn't have made the show because of that specifically. Our director, Denise Devon.
I haven't had to use a headshot and resume in a long time.
Yeah. She was very adamant about, you know, oh, well, when they don't have a headshot and resume, it means they're going to be unreliable.
Oh,
and I was like, I see her being a very unreliable person. I was like, I want to cast her.
Thanks.
No, but you know, we saw a lot of girls, and you know, everybody knew, I think, what the character was supposed to do, right? The monologue we gave you was one of loss, it was one of sadness, a little bit of tragedy and stuff like that, and they all came across like that. But as soon as Anza just belted out this cry, I was like, that's our Lonnie. It was almost like written for her. It was kind of crazy.
It was very convincing. I almost teared up on some of your monologues and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just sensitive, you know what I mean?
He is very sensitive.
Very.
That's a good thing.
So, like, when you got the part and everything like that, and when you guys actually started practicing, how was that like, you know, getting to like know each other, because you guys are basically strangers.
Yeah.
Getting to know each other, especially in the type of the positions you would have to be in.
Yeah.
How was that like, you know, was there parts where like it went like a little too far, not as inappropriate, but like, because you do have to sound like very evil, you do have to like really scream and like partake that you're like actually in danger. Was there ever a point that you actually thought like, hey, this person's really freaking out, or hey, this guy's might kill me?
I mean, I've never been scared of Chris. I mean, he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, And he always made sure I was comfortable and whatnot during those situations. I mean, I can think of only one situation where I had to say, whoa, stop. Not because I was scared of him, but like he was actually kind of choking me.
Oh my God.
It was the way my hand was positioned, right? It wasn't like me going into character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, wait, just, But otherwise, nah, he's cool.
That's good. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Anything with you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, it's, especially with the Me Too thing and, like, being a man and me also being, 14 years older than you.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot of those things that play into it where, for me and my career and future, I have to be very careful. Like, where you could be saying, oh, this is fine, I'm good with it. And maybe next year something comes out and she goes, I was never okay with this.
Oh, my God.
And it could happen, so I wanted to make sure that was never, ever going to be a case with what we were doing. And we tried to, because we had a week off between shows, so her and I tried to at least link up once or twice to get to know each other, talk about life and love and things like that have to do with our characters in reality. And, so yeah, I think us growing as friends, us keeping it very professional, and if it was up to Denise, our director, we'd be all naked, probably having sex on the stage, and like she wanted to really. My brother had it written where we were both naked, and there was penetration, not real penetration, but there was the act of penetration. But I think once we saw how close the stage was to everybody and the setup of the awkward angled bed, and it become almost like a fluff film more than like a play, right?
It just wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. It would have been
the wrong type of audience.
Probably, and like as soon as I'm front stage and I get naked, everybody's gonna be looking at my junk the whole time, like I'm up here.
Yeah.
I'm up here.
I mean, someone up in that eye level.
Yeah, it's eye level, right? The way they're sitting.
Yeah.
So all you're gonna see is a bunch of dick, right? And it's like. Like, no, you have to pay attention to me, what we're about to do. Yeah. So I think it was smart us keeping the clothes on. But I think you should talk about how challenging this role was for you. Because I know it was. Like, even to this day, you still deal with the challenges of being in this kind of play.
I mean, it's been hard. I mean, because she is a tough character to portray. Because, I mean, there's some aspects of her that I find is... very much so like a victim, and then also some where she is also the guilty party, which is difficult to say, but I can't help but see it that way, especially with how it's written. And I mean, and that affects me a lot because of my past, and so I had a tough time dealing with that, but I thought it's like, okay, it's my duty to portray this character right and do what I can. And so yeah, I mean, I also had a hard time just with being comfortable with my own body, as Chris is well aware. Especially in that opening scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's tough to masturbate in front of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to do one big O as a cue.
That's the cue.
Yeah. So that was very difficult, but I mean, I just see it as the way to grow as an actor, and I guess get in touch with yourself a bit.
And the first time we had a kiss, right? Like, so, because like after the dinner scene, we I bring her to the front, kind of forcefully, and I make out with her. Yeah. And Denise, the director, was just like, all right, just do it. Just
get it over with.
Just do it. And then I think after the first couple times, it's just like, it's whatever. We're working. It's not, and like my girlfriend had a major issue with everything we were doing on stage because, she's Latina, and that's first of all.
Oh, yeah, they're psycho. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're not psycho. It's just, but Latinas can be.
My baby's psycho.
So it's tough for her to watch because I'm sure it's tough for her to understand that to me and to Anza, there's no actual sexuality there.
It's like almost like no feelings, like you said, just working.
We're working. We're doing this purely for the audience to believe it, and there's nothing more than that to it. So that was my difficulty of dealing with my girl after the shows.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Maybe it's okay. She's like, I don't really want to kiss you right now. I'm like, man. All right, I'm sure you'll be fine in like 5 minutes, but I'll let you have this 5. Yeah.
There we we go. And so talking about going into like characters and everything like that, you know, you already mentioned, you know, it's kind of hard to and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, with everything going on. As far as for you, going into your character, I think I asked you this the night of the show, but
Yeah, a little bit.
just like a little recap. How would you say what was like one of your techniques to like get into the mind of Ted Bundy?
You know, I never tried to get into the mind of Ted Bundy. The way I looked at this, because to me, you can't. Nobody knows who Ted Bundy was, right? Like he gives the only footage we have of him is when he's already locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, his brain is telling him to do whatever makes sense in that moment. Because one interview with the guy that was chasing him for a while, we're starting to tell where bodies are. He has a different type of voice. He sounds different. He acts different. This and that. And then right before he died, right before they killed him, he was talking to that preacher guy, and the preacher guy is all like, "Oh yeah, it was based on," you know, he's telling the preacher guy, "Oh, it's based on porn. If it wasn't for porn, like where the fuck did that come from, right?"
Exactly.
Like, so that's the two versions of Bundy that we know. So we don't really know that killer Bundy. We don't know what he was really like when he was ready to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something the director and I worked on. And so we came together and planned it where that I am just a guy who is possessed. And the only thing on my mind at this point in the play is to murder and to fill that void of not being able to murder.
Okay.
It started with the cat, right? And that was like a little appetizer, and that fed the monster just enough to get to her.
Yay.
Yeah. And so that's how I looked at it. I never tried to look at it as Ted. You know, I understood the charisma part, and we tried to add that at the beginning a little bit more, especially as the show progressed. At first there was none, and then we're like, let's try to add some, because you get to play a little bit as we do more shows. But then once that cat is killed, you know, Ted is fully possessed. You know, I'm fully possessed, and my name is Ted, and I work at a call center.
Yeah.
And that's really what the similarity was. So I never had to think about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So, next question would be talking about like, you know, getting to know the serial killer and everything like that. You're saying it's portraying just as a possessed man trying to fulfill his needs.
Yeah.
Some people, like, you know, in the media nowadays, they always talk about like don't show the serial killer, don't give them any sort of fame, and like, don't glorify them basically. Would you say that this is something totally opposite of that? Like you're not actually glorifying a serial killer, you're just telling a story? Or how would you say this as? Like, or what would be your...
There's some glorification here.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's... but it's part of the marketing.
Okay.
Right? Like, if we were just doing a serial killer play...
Yeah.
Would we have sold as many tickets as we did? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But you call this guy Ted, he works at a call center, you say it's loosely based on Ted Bundy, who's one of the most famous serial killers.
Yeah.
Then you start selling some more tickets. So yeah, we're glorifying Ted Bundy and serial killers a little bit.
But more as a marketing thing. Not
as a marketing
necessarily as like, oh, he was such a cool, like how people look at Manson and stuff.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
people do. But, you know, we did meet many fans of Ted that loved Ted.
Really?
That were like...
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's my favorite serial killer.
Yeah, like,
favorite.
Yeah.
They went through a list.
They went through a list. And I was getting messages after shows about women that were very turned on by Ted. And my portrayal of Ted, and like things like that. There's a very sexual side to murder, right? Like, so I dealt with that a lot. So yeah, I think we did glorify it for the marketing sense of it, but on a personal level, do my brother or I or Denise enjoy what he did or back serial killers or any of that? No, of course not. They're the worst on the planet and should be demolished.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
Let's try to change the topic, get a little bit more lighter stuff right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Sex and violence? No.
Only moderation.
Miguel likes it.
So Anza,
Yeah.
you've been working with music for how long now? Like, because I know you have like a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I mean, barely, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, music's been a part of my life since I was like 4, but and then like composing and writing my own songs and whatnot for maybe 5 or 4 years. Just kind of now getting it quite refined, and I'm gonna actually go to New York shortly to record some EPs and help a friend with his own album, and so he's going to do a cover of my song. So
hey, nice.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank
Have
you.
fun in New York. It's crazy. What made you want to jump into acting? Like, you know? Was it just like the play itself, or is this like your first acting experience?
Oh no,
okay.
I've been acting longer than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has.
No, my first, I was introduced to acting when I was 4, and then did it professionally when I was 7 at the Hollywood Bowl.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then...
I have friends that went to that performance,
Hell
and they're in their
no.
40s. How funny is that?
That's interesting.
Yeah. They're like, oh shit, that's the only time Sound of Music was at the Bowl or something like that, and we went.
Yeah.
That's where you were in Sound of Music.
You were in the Sound of Music.
I was in the Sound of Music. I was
That's
Gretel.
Gretel.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. I'm so sorry.
Both of you, honestly.
I know who that is.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh,
I'm
man.
giving you plenty of time to look that
I
up.
still look it up. Google it real quick.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you've been acting ever since you were young. Same thing
Yeah.
with music as well. So you just started off like.
Yeah, right
At a
after
young
that,
age.
this was
That's
my
amazing.
passion. Yeah, though I did take a break for my health, and so this is kind of my way of coming back into it.
Hey, coming back strong and everything
Yeah.
like that. That's amazing right there.
Head first on that one.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Like most people be like, let me do a few commercials. No.
Yeah.
Straight up murder scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Half naked the whole time.
Yeah, no, easy peasy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, have you guys noticed like any like different besides like you getting like all these like fangirls emailing? Have you guys like noticed any reactions from the audience that was like a little over the top? Like, all right, you need to calm down, people. Like it's not real or something like that. Any, something
No.
like that.
No.
No.
I mean,
no,
we've gotten
no?
some like oh shit in the audience and
Yeah.
whatnot, but nothing.
Nothing really crazy.
No.
People are pretty numb to this shit. In reality, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know what we could have, I don't know if we would have added more blood or...
I mean, my family was
Like a
pretty
splash.
vocal about
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
well,
not like
should we talk about that?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Only if you want to. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's
No,
cool. I
nice.
mean, I'm their baby, and so
Aw.
they, they want to take care of me and protect
course.
me. But they've been really supportive throughout the whole thing. Of course, they're not too happy with the subject matter, but I mean, I can't blame them. But yeah, otherwise they're cool. Yeah.
And my family is the complete opposite. So
Yeah.
it's like, they're just like,
cool.
more blood, you should have gotten naked, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is great, wish
No
we could have
kidding.
came. Like, let's show the whole family.
There we
Like,
go.
yeah, so that's the opposite of my family.
And then meanwhile, my family's like, oh yeah, let's like, when you post on Facebook, let's like block some of your family so they don't see you're posting about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it took some courage, even though your whole family's going, we don't want you to do it, to still say, you know what? No, I want to do this. I can make my own choices as an actor.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
they let me. They're like, you're an adult. You can make this choice.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're going to support you through that. And, like, you have had all these health problems. And, like, so this isn't a great opportunity for you. And so I'm not going to, say don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as your heart's in it and it's a safe place and environment, by all means.
Yeah.
So,
That's really good.
Yeah.
You have supportive backgrounds and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Another concern.
yeah.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing right there.
I always like waving at your mom at the end of each night.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she loved that.
Yeah. Like, yes, I just murdered your daughter. Hi.
Yes.
Great seeing you, Mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Oh man. So let's get into it's called Haunt Talk. Let's talk
Yeah.
about some haunts right now. Do you guys get a chance to do like any of this like Not Scary Farm and stuff like that? Like Universal,
I've never gone to really any of them. I think I've only gone to one at Six Flags.
Six Flags. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Scarefest, is that what they call it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Fear Fest.
Fright Fest?
Yeah.
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest, there you go.
Yeah.
You went to that?
Yeah, because it was great because I had to go there for an extra credit assignment, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
What class is this?
It was gender studies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my assignment was to see if the monsters tell about their gender and whatnot and how that came out in their performance and whatnot. And I mean, it was great. I mean, and my professor was actually one of the monsters.
Wow.
Believe it or not, he didn't tell us, but I'm like, oh, there he is.
And you saw him.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's the only one I've done.
I try to go at least one every year.
One every
I'm
year?
huge into Halloween and horror, and I like to decorate and the whole nine. So, but this year I only went to two. I went to Halloween Horror Nights, which I thought was pretty good. To me, that's only enjoyable when you bring a girl or an opposite, sex.
Yeah.
Because that whole her being afraid and
What, you don't like to cuddle up to your brother or something?
No, it's a little weird with my brother. Just because he's big, so I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the bitch in this relationship, obviously. No, but, so it's like part of her being scared and her reacting to that, and then it allows me to loosen up a little bit more because, we know how these work. You're supposed to look at this thing and this thing comes at you. But, being with someone who just doesn't understand how it works, it allows you to be a little more scared. So
I did do a haunted escape room. That was fun.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which one?
Oh, my God. It was the orphanage. I think it's like 269 or something like that. I'm not sure.
I never heard of that one.
It's good. It's good. It's actually scary.
Yeah.
It was scary. Yeah. There were some jump scares and whatnot.
In the thing? In this?
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
there's
man.
no people in it, but they still got those jump scares.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. And there's gonna be a jump scare at some parts, but it still scares you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I would want to do that. They have that the Saw one in Vegas.
I'm gonna go to
Vegas
that.
in 2
That
weeks.
one's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
Not yet.
Oh.
I've had some friends said that they went. Some of them had some bad experience because it's in Vegas. You got some drunks going up in there.
Oh, of course.
Interesting. Yeah.
But, it's still a good thing. The people who made it really did a good job. So
Yeah.
that way, it's not like how most escape rooms are, where you fail it, that's it, you're done.
Right.
They want you to go through it so that way you can see the whole thing
Oh,
and everything like
shit.
that. Because they put so much work into it.
I might have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still around.
It is. Yeah, I'm going in
Go
April.
over there.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
So your 21st birthday?
No.
Oh,
I'm a November baby, like you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
you're November child.
21st, yeah.
Yeah.
First, happy late birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
late birthday to you.
Yeah.
too. Awesome. There we go.
You were born in November too?
No, April.
Oh, you're in
You're
April.
in April.
Yeah.
Oh, 420?
420.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, blaze it.
Do you guys smoke weed or anything?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no? Oh, God. There we go.
Why do you say hell no?
I'm a goody two-shoes,
Yeah,
man.
you are, yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
That's amazing. Man.
Yeah.
That's good. Don't try it. It's not that fun.
No, it's the worst.
It's the worst thing ever. It
Yeah.
ruined my life.
Look at Miguel. Miguel giggling over there.
Look at him. Oh, man. So, okay. So, Chris, you being a director and everything like that, when did all that start? That was before or sometime in the middle of your acting career?
Before even.
Okay.
So even before I moved to LA, so this is about 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved horror movies, and there was a contest called it's for the ABCs of Death, which is actually a movie now. There's a couple of
on
them.
Netflix. Yeah.
So it was so new that they were like, we're gonna find the letter T, and whoever gets the most votes is gonna be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck it, let me try to do this, right? So I did a short film called T is for Thigh, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hired my family, and I wrote the script, and I rented equipment, had no idea what I was doing, and then that was my first director thing. And then ever since then, all the short films I've done, all the web series, I sometimes offer the director role to friends that, if they want to help or build credit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time I take on the reins, and you can just see with London Levine Pictures now, I'm directing the scenes we're working on. And to me, all these things just make you a better actor, because you have to act in a way that the actor understands what to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to direct Possession. It was brought up that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do it because I didn't understand a theater space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was really out of my comfort zone with that.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. And so I would have no idea what to do, blackouts, not blackouts,
Those were
this
some
and that.
tough blackouts.
Yeah, and I don't think we'd ever do anything with blackouts like that again.
No.
No. I'd rather leave a light on.
Yeah.
Like what is that, Holiday Inn?
Oh,
Light
yeah.
on? Yeah, something like that.
Hotel
Anyways,
Six?
that was a bad joke. But I do love directing. I don't think I'd end up being a director. Acting to me is always first. But I do enjoy taking people that maybe aren't that good at acting, because they've never been directed in a sense. And it kind of shows me that if you're watching something on TV or whatever and you're seeing bad performances, it's not really the actor's fault. It's the director's fault. The director's probably more worried about the shot looking good or making lunch or overtime, or something like that, instead of what their job should be is getting the actors to be exactly what they need to be doing. And at doing these things lately, I can definitely see that. So yeah.
Okay. That's really great.
Did I just ramble on a little bit there?
No,
Well, we all just kind of
went.
went, wow, he's done. He's done.
Very interesting.
Still talking?
You actually answered my next question.
Oh,
you know what I
2
mean?
for 1 there for you.
Hey.
Anyways, I like
There we
directing
go.
because I get to work with actors and I'm an actor, so I learn more.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Oh.
Sum it up.
On to the next one.
What's like the next project for you guys? Like anything that you could announce? Anything, we don't want to give away any secrets.
Do you have secrets?
Do you have secrets?
I got plenty of secrets,
No,
but no, just basically the music and yeah.
Any albums, mixtapes? Be rapping?
No, just yeah, the EPs and then working on collaborations and whatnot. So yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to shooting her next music video when she's ready.
Oh yes,
There we go.
yes.
Yeah, we'll do something fun for that. For me, I mean, I'm always trying to do shit, you know? It's like I feel like I die as an artist if I don't do stuff. So, with my production company, London Levine Pictures, we're shooting a few more scenes. We're working on a few features. I have a horror movie feature that I wrote a while ago for Campers in the Woods called No Way Out. And we're trying to either come up with a couple million to make it or just shoot it extremely low budget for like 25 grand and go from there and just try to make it as good as possible.
Wait,
So
which project?
yeah, exactly. You know, it's not found footage, but it's something. If we can find the right locations for free, then we can definitely get it done. You know, there's enough talent pool in our team. And then I'm also working on a little side project, right? Kind of interesting. So I had this idea, and if somebody steals it, I guess it's okay because I don't know how serious I am yet. But I want to do an album of a rap album, right, to do with only horror movies. So each rap is to do with a movie, and the beat will be that main theme song from that movie.
Okay.
So I'm already working on the Friday the 13th one, right? And so it's just a mix of that Friday the 13th sound effect, right, or
Yeah.
like that noise. Yeah, exactly. And so it's a remix with like. You had it? Is that what it?
No.
Oh, he like did this. I was like, oh, okay, he's feeling it. He was fixing his watch. And then stop distracting me, Miguel. No, no, but and then you know, a couple verses rapping about it, you know, and I think that could be fun to do like a horror album. And if one song actually sticks, maybe people enjoy that type of shit. There's so many horror fans. There's not really a lot of horror rap, if at all, and there's not really many white rappers out there either, so you're kind of mixing on all two there, right there, you know. So
I'm gonna have to hear it.
Yeah. I've got 2 verses done. They're not in my head. They're on paper. I'm like, it's 8 Mile style right here. You know what I mean? You know, I'm on the bus.
And everything.
Yeah.
Mom
Freezing my
spaghetti,
ass
all
off,
that
man.
shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So there's a few things like that. Yeah.
Definitely. That's awesome right there.
Yeah.
So let's just go off topic again.
Sure.
I want to get back into the whole serial killers talk right there. Have you guys ever been in the Museum of Death and everything like that?
No.
Ever
Never been.
Like the roses on the gate and everything like that? So you've been there.
I've been there once. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always like a trigger warning and everything like that when you go up in there. Like they warned us at least.
Really?
Like saying like it might get like a little too touchy and everything like that. Not touchy,
Oh,
but like
it's very
sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, did you feel like something like that, like, or are you kind of like just like, you know, it's all just a museum?
You know, for me, I'm really bad at like blood and guts, like in real life and talking about it and reading about it and stuff. So it's funny because like I love horror movies, but
Right, yeah.
on a fake level I can do as much as I can. But like on like a real level, for whatever reason, there's a thing that makes you kind of black out. It's like not a disease, but it's like a thing that people have.
I'm like the opposite.
Nothing phases you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like horror movies and shit.
Oh.
I feel like the sympathy, pain, and all that.
Right.
But like in
Real
real
stuff?
life, I'm like, okay.
Just
Wow.
a cut off leg, no big deal.
Yeah.
That's a,
Yeah.
walk it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get very
It's only a flesh wound.
Oh, yeah, I get very dizzy and like lightheaded and pale.
Oh damn.
Like it's really bad. So yeah, so I felt that, but that's just like a personal thing. It had nothing to do with like, you know, being in the Museum of Death. But it is very crazy. Talk about glorifying serial killers and making a massive
Exactly.
profit from it.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
people
like one of
complain
those
about
people-
possession.
Yeah.
You know, but in reality, you know, nothing against Museum of Death. I love that they have that because it's very interesting. But
They kind of do the same thing.
they're doing the same thing times 10. They're charging $40 a ticket, and it's a museum.
Yeah.
You know, so
They're all year round.
yeah, all year round. So, and there's 2 locations, one in New Orleans, I guess.
Oh wow.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
That's a good place for
yeah,
it.
Yeah, it's-
It's really freaky out there. Have you guys ever been in New Orleans or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
yeah.
A lot of voodoo out there.
Voodoo's cool,
My brother
man.
went out there.
Yeah.
You into voodoo?
I mean, I like the idea of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Definitely. You ever like dabbled in it?
No, never dabbled. No.
Okay, not really. No.
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't involved, but I used to go like a lot of punk shows, and I guess this one band was from New Orleans. The dude used to do like some voodoo rituals during the song. It was scary. Like the
Yeah.
whole vibe just changed. Everyone went from like being like yeah to like fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
I know, like, half of the people left. It was crazy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Everybody was cursed at the end of that one.
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I didn't. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, so what was like the craziest story that you've ever heard about a serial killer? You know what I mean? Like, what was like the craziest one you can think of so far?
What do you got? You got one?
Do you guys like do research on that stuff right now? Am I the only weirdo? Okay, there we go.
I don't think it's weird. I think there's a massive fascination with serial killers and things like that, and the idea that someone can take it from an idea to a real thing and then enjoy it and get that bloodlust from it. There's something there. I mean, just researching Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the most research I did.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, just researching Ted and how crazy. I mean, I did start researching a little bit about Ramirez.
Okay,
because maybe that's something we're trying to do next year.
Oh.
We don't know for sure yet, but that would maybe be the play that we're gonna try to do.
Okay.
What's crazy about Ramirez, though, I mean, he didn't give a fuck who he was killing, right? Like, it was like old ladies, you know, whoever. They were all getting it, right? Mm-hmm. And it was around Christmas time in our backyard, right? It's right in like Montebello or something like that. So that's what's crazy about Ramirez, but Ted Bundy with having sex with corpses and like all that, and coming back weeks later after they're decomposing, like something real mad there, right?
Yeah,
like
it's something like really.
Like okay, you have a fantasy of having sex with dead people, that's one thing, right? But like having sex with decaying corpses weeks later with the smell and the deterioration.
Yeah.
Now that's the wildest shit.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got some wild stuff?
Huh? I've heard about this one dude. I forgot his name, but he used to put cats, like dead cats, on like the fence of like a elementary school.
Ooh.
And like I guess he like killed like 2 of the kids from that elementary school
Oh,
and like, left their bodies there too. And he didn't have a kid that went there. He had no like relation to that school. He just moved into the city, and he just like.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like that school right there.
Wow.
The whole thing. That was the one thing that trips me out because like you said, it could just be random.
Random.
Richard. Anything. One guy just picks it off and that's it. So I was like, I forgot his name though, which is horrible.
Maybe someone in the comments can.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You guys do that? Yeah.
What's kind of fun is that one of our artists that had art at the Possession play, right, was actually from France, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was charging a little. He wanted a lot of money for the 8x10s for Ted that he hand painted. And so I was like, I gotta find a way to sell this to people because I think if they're just walking in, they're not gonna spend $60 or $65 on an 8x10 of Ted, right? So I have to at least give a little artist breakdown.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing research on him and stuff like that, turned out that he was found guilty for killing some people and like being and messing with corpses. I don't think sexually, but like this like, you know, smashing in their decaying brains and things like that and like weird stuff. And
I think it's some cannibalism was in
and there was some cannibalism, drinking blood, things like that. And so that was a random thing. And it was just, you know, I just saw he was doing Ted Bundy art on Instagram. And I reached out. I said, hey, you want to sell some at my play? You know, it'll just be a consignment thing. And he was real professional and sent me it from France and sent me one personally signed. And I was like, oh, this is great. So how professional is this? I just randomly met him.
Yeah.
And it turns out, you know, you never know who you're talking to online.
Oh my God.
That's the truth of it.
You know what I mean? Damn.
That's the truth of it. Everybody sounds very professional online.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think that was in his past. And he'd found art while he was serving time, and I think some have it where they ended up not finding him. He was never found guilty, but I think he admitted to it after because you can't be found guilty twice for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know.
Weird rule, yeah.
Some rule.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Double Jeopardy, like the movie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Double Jeopardy.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
especially serial killer art, because in the museum they have like a whole walls just dedicated to all that, especially with Gacy.
Yeah, people love the clown.
Yeah, like there's like so many paintings. I've met one guy said he had one painting and everything like that. He had a picture of it on his wall and everything like that. And he like if you go to his house, that's the first thing he shows you. He'd be like, all right, welcome to my house. Here's Gacy, that's my cat. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Just like
wow,
like
right?
that. And it's like crazy. It's signed and everything like that. And I saw a documentary. There's a dude who would write him constantly.
It'd be pen pals with Gacy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Pen pals and everything like that. It's like, how do you keep talking to a guy who's like full on straight up guilty for like, I think it was like probably like 27 or like 28.
Some massive
like
amount,
boys that in his floorboards and everything like that. It's just,
like as sick as you can possibly be.
yeah.
But then there's the women that fall in love with serial
Richard
killers.
and Ted and everything like that.
That girl said yes on the stage, in the courtroom to Ted.
Yeah.
You know, so there's something there where women find serial killers that are found guilty to be attractive.
That's weird. I wonder why that is.
Yeah,
No,
don't ask me.
Is that something? I don't know. It's speaking for women. I'm just kidding.
Nope.
You like the non-serial killers.
Non-serial.
Yeah, no, those tend to be
There we
good.
go.
Yeah.
So if you're a non-serial killer between the ages of maybe 20 and 28, right? Good-looking, talented, you know, Anza is available. You can reach her at Anza Seller at...
yeah, okay.
It's not her email.
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
At 310...
Oh, man. Anyways, so I think that's going to about wrap it up, you guys.
We're done?
We're done.
Aw.
Did you have something else you guys wanted to add? You guys want to plug anything? I know we already talked about your future projects.
Yeah.
Something you want to plug in, Chris? Anza?
Well, make sure you stay looking for Anza's music coming out.
Make sure you keep looking out for his films and
promoting each other.
plays.
Self-promotion and promotion.
Yeah. And watch out for his videos, of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so why you're really watching this is because of this guy right here.
Yeah.
And the main reason why we did this is because, man, you've been so supportive of the play and us. And it's like, you know, we never paid him anything to say or do anything that he said over the last couple months. And you were really about what we were trying to do. And from an indie standpoint, we need all the help we can get. And so anybody that can support art like yourself, the least we could do is come out here and talk a little bit and support you in any way that we can.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Very appreciated and everything like that. You guys check them out on Instagrams and everything like that. Check out the Ted Bundy play on the YouTube channel and everything like that. That's an amazing thing right there. I love that you guys put that out there on YouTube.
Not everybody liked the idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my God. There we go.
Yeah. But, you know, I think it's... I think we had a lot of fans that weren't in LA, you know, based on Instagram and Facebook and social media and stuff like that. A lot of people were interested in what we were doing. And I think it's only fair that we can share the hard work that we put into it. It would suck. To me, it's like we worked our asses off for so long, you know, and so much stress involved in it, you know, no time for rehearsals, us setting up everything before the show and not really. And because they book their theater so much, we don't have time to relax, set up, kick back, wait for you guys. It's like we're setting up as you guys are walking in still, you know. So it's always that close. So we worked really hard. I would hate for it just to be over.
Yeah.
And so at least now it's online, and you know, and people can enjoy what we did, all our hard work, and you know, hopefully they get a little creep from it.
You guys did amazing acting and everything like that. But thank you guys again. Guys, check them out. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.
And that is it, folks. Another episode of Haunt Talks right there. Thank you, Chris Levine. Thank you, Anza Seller, so much for coming down. You guys are the homie. I love you. But so just if you want to learn about all the other things that happened, like, you know, in 2018 haunt season, check out all the other videos on my channel. You know, you want to see all the other Haunt Talk episodes with all the other special guests like Mr. Death Breath, who does like amazing movie reviews. If you want to learn about Christine the Haunt Girl, who writes a blog and does videos about all these haunts and escape rooms and everything like that, check it out, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right.